Hey Noga.
Hi,
So
Josh.
we've just been in this conversation around the event that I'm creating that you're going to hold. And while I listened to you, I thought that this is just really beautiful information to also share outside and for
Yeah.
people to get a little bit more a feeling of what you actually come to offer. And
Yeah, and it's also very nice to see the face and to hear the voice and to feel
mm,
uh, how it feels for each person to decide if he wants to come.
I feel for me, family constellation, it's relatively big by now, and it's like this big box of tools and approach and perspective. And I'd be curious to hear you breaking it a little bit down or sharing both your perspective on family constellation and what you will bring in this first uh, training retreat in Berlin. So the
Good.
question, what is family constellation?
Yeah. So Family Constellation actually was founded by Bert Hellinger, a German therapist. He lived with the Zulu tribe for 15 years and he joined their shamanic ceremonies. And then he came back to Germany and combined it with Gestalt work and family therapy and psychodrama. So actually, the roots of family constellation comes also from therapy and from shamanism. And it's a really exciting combination. Um, Family constellation works with intergenerational transference. It's trying to find what's holding us back by looking at us as part of the system that we grew up in, meaning our families usually, but not only, also our gender and some other groups that we relate to.
Mm,
So it's really, in short, this is family constellation. Usually we work in a group, and the amazing thing is that other people in the group can represent parts of the issue or parts of my family, and we are in a process that takes sometimes an hour or an hour and a half. We really dig deep to find in the past what is the source of the obstacles or the blockages that we feel living in our lives.
thank
Yeah.
you.
And the amazing thing is to feel that other people can feel their somatic um, sensations, like felt senses, we say, and they can bring up information
Mm,
about my story or about my family that I wasn't aware of. And
mm,
this is really a special experience. And
mm,
it's connecting the group so easily, so quickly. So it's really a special experience.
mm. That sounds magical. Yeah, it sounds like really tapping into this intelligence of constellation that
Yeah.
unfolds once we bring our parts together and really start weaving and dancing together in some ways in that specific space.
And it connects people to collective memories, which is also an issue that
Mm,
we're not so, we don't have the path to touch collective memories so much. We deal very much with our own issues from our own life experiences, but usually we don't tend to look that way. And it opens up a new dimension of exploring.
mm. I would love to hear you. We framed this event as both training and retreat. On one side, both teaching how to work with constellation and naturally also going on a personal self-developmental journey in that process. And I'd love to hear a little bit on that, also on how you teach, and what will be part. Is it only for people who have already experience in facilitating, or in giving sessions, or in doing therapeutic work? Is it for people who have no idea yet? And
Yeah,
what can I take from that? You know?
good. So this training retreat is a basic model in family constellation. It means that we're working with a group, and the main theme is to give the basics understanding of how family constellation works and how one can work with it. I believe in learning by experience, because we can read a lot of materials, and theoretically we know something, but we need our mind to remember them. And when we go through the experience, it's very deep, and we don't have to remember, we just know it from inside. So this is the way I teach. But after every experience, we will also discuss and understand what we experienced, because that way we also experience something, and also we understand it enough to integrate it into our work. If we want to integrate our own process, or if we are aiming towards working with others as therapists. So in the basic models, all of us, either if we come for our own experience, and we want to just to be in the process for ourselves, or maybe we want to learn tool to work with others. So all the people start from the same place of experiencing and understanding what we experienced. So this is the basic model.
So basically, jumping inside, working with what's alive, being in the experience, and then afterwards putting on the head of the facilitator, putting on the head of the therapist, and seeing what happened, why did you do what you did, and what we can learn from the process that happened. So
Right.
an embodied experience of the process, and then afterwards reflecting and realizing, okay, this is what happened, and yeah, getting this knowledge as well, or collecting in some ways.
Yeah. I think this training gives you a new perspective that you start using and exercising in it, so that you absorb it. It's more like, because I give tools to work with, but it's not a technical thing. It's really something very deep that you start having a different perspective. Yeah, we work in a field of systemic perception. So you start observing things as, instead of looking at an organ, for example, in the body, you start looking at the whole body and at the organ in it. It's a different perspective.
Yeah, which is such a valuable and important perspective that we're also more and more invited in these days to tap into, not only in the systems of our communities, of our tribe, of our family or relationship, but yeah, it doesn't stop. Like, I feel this perspective is just
Right, exactly. Yeah.
we're really invited to. Beautiful.
Yeah, and for people that comes from therapy, I can say that many people ask me if they can use this, therapists or facilitators, when they finish the training. So I can say that I cannot commit, because it's a very personal thing. If a person feels like he's ready to use it. But most people that learn these basic models, if they're if they are already working as therapists or facilitators, so usually they start using it.
Mm.
So yeah, this works for most people if they feel ready. If they don't feel ready, so maybe they need more, but for most people it's enough.
Yeah, I understand. Beautiful. Thank you for this conversation.
Thank you. Looking forward.
Me too.